Hello, high school basketball fans, and welcome to the Regional Championship Division 6 style, the show at the Scro here on the campus of the Bowling Green State University. Today, it's the Colonel Crawford Eagles coming in with a record of 24-1 versus the Lima Central Catholic Thunderbirds, a record of 18-7. I'm Dave Bowen. It's my pleasure to have Evan Skillinter here for color commentary, playing with all the Crayolas, magenta being one of my favorite, Evan. And then we also have Mark Shine as a sideline reporter for today's regional championship. Let's take a look at our two teams. First of all, the Colonel Crawford Eagles, under the leadership of head coach David Sheldon in his 19th year. He has an overall record of 350 and 111, and he was just recognized as the Coach of the Year of the Northern 10 Conference. They will start like this. Number 3, a 5'10" senior guard, Logan Goddard. Number 11, John DeGray, a 6'3" sophomore forward, averages 10 points per game. Braden Holt, the leading scorer and the player of the year in the Northern 10, a 6'1" junior guard, number 20. Caden Bruner, number 23, a 6'2" senior forward, averages 2 points per game. And completing the starting lineup for the Eagles, a 6'5" junior post, Payne DeGray, second leading scorer at 15 points. Again, Goddard, DeGray, Holt, Bruner, and DeGray. And yes, the DeGray boys are brothers.
Yeah, nice. I really like this roster. I like this team. I love this coaching staff, the program, the culture of the Colonel Crawford program is not something that people in Lima Land are necessarily familiar with, at least not at a wide scale, but this community comes out for basketball. They love hoops, and you look at some of those guys. You talked about Braden Holt, does everything well for this Colonel Crawford team. 18 points, 4 rebounds, 5.9 assists, and 2 steals to just 1 turnover a game. That is a really good rate for a guy that has the basketball in his hands, for the most part during the game. And then Payne DeGray, a huge force, a huge presence for this team. 15 points, 8 rebounds a game, also blocks around 2 shots a game. So these are 2 guys that can do a lot of good work, but again, it's the program and the culture around Colonel Crawford. They're going to play hard, they're going to be physical, and they're going to be in your face and make it really hard for you to do what you want to do tonight.
Braden Holt had 23 points and 12 boards versus Maumee Valley Country Day in the regional semifinal. He's the leader of this team, not only with what he does on the floor, but vocally as well. And Payne DeGray, you're right, Evan, he's a glue guy. Let's take a look at the Lima Central Catholic Thunderbirds under the leadership of second-year coach Sean Powell in his 8th season overall, an overall record of 112 and 66. Second year at LCC, making a bid for back-to-back Final Fours. He's got a state championship under his belt at Botkins in 2021. Their starting lineup looks like this. The leading scorer in everything for the T-Birds, Jordan Pretty, the 6'1" junior guard, comes in at 21 points per game. He will be complemented by number 2, 6'3" sophomore forward, Brady Parker, averages 7 points per game. Azad Burton, the 6'1" freshman forward, 10.5 points per game. Jackson White, 6'2" sophomore forward, averages 3.7 points per game. And Drew Peaster will round out the starting lineup for the T-Birds. The 6'4" junior forward averages 5 points per game. Again, Pretty, Parker, Burton, White, and Peaster. And Jordan Pretty, again, the all-everything guy for LCC. All he did in the regional semifinals have 25 points. He scored 11 of the last 12 points for the T-Birds. They were down 35-31 with 4:44 to go in that game. They held Patrick Henry scoreless the rest of the way, and Pretty had a 3, he had a 2, he had another 2, and he had 4 free throws to push LCC into this regional championship game.
Yeah, and Jordan Pretty, just such a fantastic basketball player in so many different ways. And we talked about it later after the game. Yeah, 11 of the last 12 for LCC. Those were fairly quiet points. He doesn't do anything that's necessarily super flashy. Now, he can do the flashy stuff, right? But he's strong. He has a quick first step. He can get to his spots. He's got a nice mid-range jumper. He's a good finisher around the basket. Shoots 40% from 3 as well. He can move the ball around and play some tough defense. So definitely the centerpiece for this team. And, hey, if you've been following LCC basketball during this tournament run, you look at this starting lineup and there's one glaring absence. It is Jeff Williams. It is our responsibility to report that Jeff will not be playing today. Jeff is here in the gym, but we're probably not going to talk about much more than that, just other than he's not playing, and he is a big part of what this Lima Central Catholic team likes to do in terms of pushing the pace, moving the ball around, taking care of things, distributing, getting downhill into the lane. It's going to be interesting to see how LCC copes without Jeff Williams on the floor tonight. Azad Burton back in the starting lineup after being hurt. He does some good stuff. But, Mark, I'm curious down there what you're seeing, what you're thinking for this game as well.
Well, one thing, obviously, you look at field goal percentage and free throw percentage. But the number I'm really going to look at today, let's take rebounds plus steals minus turnovers and see who's ahead. This is a Colonel Crawford team that really crashes the boards. They rebound really, really well. Can LCC create rebounds themselves and also get enough steals to kind of equal that, and then see who forces turnovers and who commits the fewest of those?
Yes, in that semifinal game, Colonel Crawford out-rebounded Maumee Valley Country Day 48-20. They will be challenged in that area as well. And this LCC squad, they're going to look to make up for those points in that activity that they're going to miss with Williams. Those players are going to take that on as a challenge. So let's take a look at the bracket. You see Colonel Crawford, they won the sectional final, defeating Western Reserve. A side note there, that's two brothers, David Sheldon versus Chris Sheldon. Colonel Crawford comes away with that win, and then they avenge their only loss of the season against Ashland Crestview. They lost that first game of the year. They have won 23 games since, and then they go on, they defeat Maumee Valley Country Day, and in talking with Coach Shelton, he said, that's the only team on our schedule that has any similarities to LCC. So they're going back-to-back with similar teams right now. You take a look at Lima Central Catholic. They had to get through that basically NWC district. They defeated Bluffton 70-56. Crestview 48-44, and then that big win here against Patrick Henry on Tuesday night, 43-35. That's how they both got here. Now let's take a look at the keys for this game, starting with Colonel Crawford, Evan. I think they want it to be a fight in the phone booth.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They want to be physical. They have to be physical. They've got to get into LCC. They can't let the T-Birds move around and do what they want to do. They have to push them around. Now, I say pace here, and that doesn't necessarily mean play with pace. To me, that means control the pace, right? You want to make sure that you are playing at your pace. Now, that can come from physicality, right? But that also comes from making good decisions, getting into your offense and getting through the motions and making sure that you are doing just all the little things the right way. So, again, physicality and pace, controlling this game for Colonel Crawford will be huge.
And as you look at the T-Birds, I think you're going to go opposite with them a little bit. They want that tempo to be moving up and down the floors in a frenetic pace.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a very athletic team. Now, again, we talked about Jeff Williams and how he is the one that kind of leads that charge in terms of the quickness and getting up and down the court. Who's going to take that role for LCC? I could see Burton doing it. I could see Pretty leading the charge with the basketball. Quatman coming in as well. There are a lot of different options, but either way, they want to play fast and not let Colonel Crawford control the pace, as we just talked about. And then the other thing is penetration. LCC does such a nice job getting downhill and getting into the paint, making the defense collapse, making the help defenders come off of their man and opening things up around the offense. So if the T-Birds are going to get good looks and high-quality shots, they're going to need to get inside and really start to create some pockets in this defense, make them move around, and make them uncomfortable.
Let's go down to Mark Scheid one more time. Mark, you're down there at courtside. What's the atmosphere? What's the feel? This place is filling up.
You know what, really, on the Colonel Crawford side, it's kind of a, I don't know what to expect. There's a little bit of quiet. There's a little bit of tension, a little bit of, I don't know how we're going to play today type feel. Look at the LCC side, and they're up and ready to go. I think that they're a little bit more used to getting to this regional final type situation. We'll see if the teams feel the same way today.
Colonel Crawford has never been to a Final Four. LCC looking to get to their 11th. We're going to have it all. Like we said, the show at the Stro, it's going to be a dandy. We'll be back with the opening tip. You're watching Regional Championship Basketball on WOSN. Welcome back to the Stroh Center on the campus of Bowling Green State University. Our quarter sponsor today is Webb Insurance Agency. Webb Insurance Agency serving Lima and Allen County for more than 100 years with offices in downtown Lima and Bluffton. And our scoreboard sponsor today is Ultimate Outdoor. Bring resort-style living to your backyard every day with a luxury outdoor space by Ultimate Outdoor. Lima Central Catholic will be the visitors in today's contest in their red uniforms, numbers trimmed in blue and white. Colonel Crawford will be in the home uniforms, their white jerseys trimmed in yellow and black. It's a battle, as we said, contrasting styles, Evan Skilleter. LCC, they're going to want to still have pace, get the ball up and down the floor. Colonel Crawford, they do. They want this to be a mutter, if you will, in a positive way.
Well, and you've been a coach. You've talked to coaches. You've heard coaches say this. It's going to be important to establish ourselves early in this game. Find our pace, find our rhythm, figure out what we need to do to maintain that.
Our officials for today's contest, we've got the A-team, Reyes Ramirez, Mark Freilich, and Jeffrey Cleary. Great opportunity and reward for them for their officiating experience. We appreciate them calling this basketball game. We're off, and here we go. And right away, unique setup. Jackson White's going to take the ball out top and run the point for the T-Birds.
Right into a down screen to Pretty on the backside, but instead it's Burton pulling up from the elbow. Look at that.
Azad Burton picks up the field goal. One shot, 2 points. LCC with the quick early lead. And here's how they're going to try and get the tempo to get moving in a higher fashion. Full court pressure right away from the T-Birds.
Well, they let him get behind. Does a good job up top. Yep.
That's going to be an offensive foul. Payne Gray attacks the rim, but Jordan Pretty hustles down and takes the charge.
Yeah, Pretty was there in plenty of time, too. Not a ton of contact, but enough there to get the offensive foul. A good start for LCC with the first bucket and now a turnover on the other end.
A great look from Simplified Flooring, our instant replay sponsor. In the offense, to the left, Jordan Pretty. Down to Burton again. He's going to fade from the baseline. That one's short. Rebound by Colonel Crawford, Braden Holt. Braden Holt's the guy you want to look. He's the leading scorer. We talked about him in the pregame. They go right inside again. Overcooks it to the Eagles. But it's going to stay with Colonel Crawford.
Well, it's twice they've been able to get the ball to the basket, but twice they've been a little bit unsure what to do once they've gotten there. Good job both times by LCC getting into a good spot and just challenging the shot, not trying to do too much and foul.
Ball goes out to Logan Goddard. He takes it out to Braden Holt. Holt, a junior for this Colonel Crawford squad. His family moved back to the district. Parents, graduates of Colonel Crawford. And there is a three from the baseline by Logan Goddard. A Matt's heating and cooling three. And Coach Sean Powell, he's going to take a timeout right away.
Yeah, and he immediately pointed to all five of his starters and said, come here. He had something very specific to say. Now, I'm not sure we got Mark really close to the sideline there. Mark, you hearing anything?
Well, that's not the point. The point is that they were confused defensively who was playing who and in what situations, left the three ball open in the corner, and Coach wanted to get that defensive assignment straightened out real quick.
Our Metzger Financial Services timeout. Tonight's timeouts are brought to you by Metzger Financial Services, helping you plan your financial future. Call 419-225-6067 or visit MetzgerFinancialServices.com. That's a quick timeout. 6:35 in the opening stanza, but you're sending a message right away. We got to be on the same page from the get-go, gentlemen.
Yeah, and Goddard, not a bad shooter, averages 6 a game. Nice pass in behind the defense to find Peaster and a good finish.
Peaster with the bucket, Burton with the assist. 4-3 T-Birds. They go over the pressure again. And again, Jordan Pretty hustles back to knock that one away to save an easy two.
Yeah, they do end up calling a foul on it, though, as Reyes Ramirez heads over to the table, and it'll be the first on Pretty. A nice job, like you said, hustling back, though, and that's still one that if you're Colonel Crawford, take the 2 easy points, right? Go up quicker, get to the basket, go up strong. Again, 3 times in a row they've gotten to the basket now and still not been able to convert.
Payne DeGray makes good on the first free throw from the Lee's famous recipe chicken free throw line, located in Wapak, Delphos, and St. Mary's. Locally owned and operated, Lee's not just famous for chicken, famous for catering too. 5-4 Eagles going against a pack line man-to-man defense by Colonel Crawford. By pack line, we mean there's a lot of great help side. You see, away from the ball, the defenders will be in the middle of the paint, making it very difficult for this LCC squad to find penetration lanes.
Yeah, we talked about that as a key to this game for LCC, penetration, get inside. Colonel Crawford knows that as well, and you're right, they're doing everything they can to make sure there are not paint touches right there. A good job sliding over and help.
There's your good ball movement, and Burton cuts to the basket, and he gets it from Peaster. Azad Burton points 3 and 4.
Yeah, got to have your head on a swivel. Can't ball watch right there. Burton's defender turned his head. Now they go right back inside, and another one they can't convert.
John DeGray tries to attack the basket. Good hands by the T-Bird defense to knock it away. It'll be baseline out of bounds, the blob for Colonel Crawford. Reyes Ramirez with a conversation with some players.
Yeah, they're talking to Burton. It looks like his shoulder is a little bit hurt. He's going to have to come out of this game as Quatman heads over to the table to check in. Azad Burton, who has been missing for a lot of the playoffs with a leg injury, now holding his shoulder.
Mark Shine seeing anything over there?
Yeah, he's talking about his arm being numb from getting a contact, kind of like a crazy bone type thing.
And he took your seat. Sorry about that, Mark.
Braden Holt, nice penetration, kisses it off the glass. 7-6 Eagles. Here come the T-Birds right back. Loose ball, turnover.
Right idea, just too slow on the pass. Good job by Colonel Crawford coming down and taking that away. After the last possession, Azad Burton cut to the basket without anyone looking at him. Better adjustment there.
Finish that story on Braden Holt. He was at Worcester Triway last year. His family moved back to Colonel Crawford, and the Eagles happy to have him on this squad. Again, the player of the year in the Northern 10 as a junior.
2-3 zone. Or maybe
Quatman
just that back line. Like
Quatman with the look. Yeah, it's a real sagging man. I thought it was zone initially as well. One and done for the T-Birds. Holt from behind the college three-point line. Doesn't get it. Offensive rebound. Looking to attack off the window. And that's a bucket for Braden Holt.
Good patience from Holt right there. Let Peaster go up and come down before he went up for the shot without any issues. Nice job to get the score back to within 3.
Brady Parker with the ball out top. Jackson White on the right side, going to pull it back out.
No buckets yet for Mr. Pretty. Hasn't had many touches either.
And they're face guarding him with Holt, I believe. No, it's not Holt. We'll get who it is, but there's a miss. And here comes Colonel Crawford in transition. Again, always interesting. You talk about wanting to play with pace and everything, but these tournament games turn into half-court Donnybrooks. That's what we're seeing here in the early going.
Yeah, they really do. You get some of the best coaches out there doing their thing. Big shot, not good there, but deep for Goddard.
Offensive rebound by John DeGray. Holt gets into the paint. And they're going to reset the table.
That's a good job, just backing it out, getting something set up. Obviously no shot clock here in high school basketball, at least in Ohio. So plenty of time for them to work the ball around, get a good look, see a couple screens, little motion offense here as LCC tries to blitz. Good
defense by LCC until the penetration right there. Holt makes them pay by getting the ball to Payne DeGray.
Well, it's a great job by Holt. He's double-teamed, and he's still able to get by both guys, get into the paint, draw that help like we've been talking about, then a nice dump-off and an easy bucket.
11-6 Eagles. No, it's not the Kenny Loggins danger zone for the T-Birds, but with the steal there, see what Holt does. Going against White, gives it up fake, and Logan Goddard scores. And Coach Powell's got to think about another timeout. He's used one already to get everybody on the same page. He's not going to use it here, Evan, going to get the offense set.
Yeah, and Coach Powell pretty animated after that one. He wanted Drew Peaster to stay on the ground. Don't fly by him like that. You're tall, man. Just wall up. Make things hard for him to get over the top.
Another turnover, another possession without a shot for the T-Birds back-to-back. Holt from the elbow. Doesn't go. DeGray fights for it, but he's going to tap it out of bounds. T-Bird basketball.
Need better contact on those box outs, too. Yeah, they had good position, but when you don't have contact, it's easy for the big guys to come up over the top.
Mark Shine, what are you seeing down there right now?
Azad Burton back in the game. He did some stretches back behind the bleachers with an assistant coach. He's back in the game, and Coach Powell unhappy with his interior defense and his rebounding.
1:53 remaining in the first quarter. LCC rolling into their half-court offense. Elbow to elbow, down to the block to Pretty. It's a wall up, but I think they're going to get Payne DeGray reaching in from behind. Let's see who the call's on.
Yeah, it's a good call there. You're right. The guy that initially had the contact was straight up and down, but DeGray came in from behind and grabbed the arm of Pretty on his way up. Not easy for the baseline referee to see, but a good job by the crew of officials making sure they're all on the same page. The back referee saw it, able to call it and get Pretty to the free throw line for his first bucket of this game.
76% free throw shooter is Jordan Pretty, second on this T-Bird squad. That's a storyline. Payne DeGray picks up his second personal foul. He's going to go to Coach David Sheldon's bench, at least for the remainder of the first quarter. Pretty makes good on both Lee's famous recipe chicken free throws.
That is a big miss. That's a big body underneath that does a lot of good things for you. Kind of a gravity guy, gets the defense to stay distracted, to worry about you down low.
Parker Weithman in the game now for the Eagles. Goddard with the basketball. Now Weithman averages 4 points per game. You can see Braden Holt is the trigger man. He's got the keys to the car, Evan.
Yeah, they're trying to run him off screens. LCC switching guard to guard when he's screened, and so it's been really hard for him to get open at all. You see Burton on him right now, following him all over the place.
Again, tenacious defense by the T-Birds. It's a combination, great defense, but I don't think Colonel Crawford's all that upset about being very, very patient.
Yeah, absolutely. Good job taking care of the basketball. Now, again, you said it, Payne DeGray on the bench, 15 points a game. Braden Holt kind of taken out of this game right now by a tough defense. He has the ball now, but you can see Burton making it hard for him to get it. But then the rest of the guys, who's going to step up otherwise, right? John DeGray averages 9. Logan Goddard averages 6. He's got a 3 in this game as well as a 2. And that pass isn't going to cut it.
Poor decision by Holt. The T-Birds take advantage of it. Pretty with the basketball, looking to get to the rim. He does. And that ball eats about all of the rim but doesn't taste the net. We're going to have a block. Jordan Pretty going back to the Lee's famous recipe chicken free throw line.
That left foot was sliding just a little bit. That's a really, really tough call. It's a good job trying to get into position, but just not able to get there in time. They call that on Bruner. It's his first. He's the one that replaced DeGray.
Jordan Pretty again. No field goals, but he's 3 for 3 now from the Lee's famous recipe chicken free throw line. And
Coach Shelton is really in the official's ear because the first call of the game went against him in a similar situation, and he has spent this entire free throw in the official's ear.
Yeah, it's a good shout, Mark. You're absolutely right. Early on, we had that play underneath. There was no call at all. It wasn't a block or a charge. It was just not enough contact according to the refs, and that one they decided was a block. 2 free throws for Pretty. He's on the board with 3 points.
12 seconds. Holt has the ball in his hands. Don't know if he'll give it up or not unless it's an uncontested look, and he's going to draw a personal foul on the T-Birds.
That's the first against Quatman, and that's not a bad foul. It's only the second against the T-Birds, so no free throws coming up. Quatman came in, tried to get it from behind. A lot of times, though, referees will tell you, even if you hit the ball, if you come across the arm after you hit it, it's generally going to be a foul, and that's exactly what we saw there.
Good luck from our Simplified Flooring instant replay. 6.9. Holt gets it back. They're going to run 2 at him. Going to make it tough. He's not going to get a look. Throws it up. Kisses it off the window, but it's short. 1 in the books. Colonel Crawford 13. Lima Central Catholic 10. Division 6 Regional Championship at the Scro on WOSN. Our quarter sponsor for today's contest is Webb Insurance Agency, serving Lima and Allen County for more than 100 years, with offices in downtown Lima and Bluffton. And our instant replay sponsor is Simplified Flooring. Today's instant replay sponsor is Simplified Flooring. Simplified Flooring will make choosing your flooring simple. Mark Shine, you're right there by the LCC bench. What's Coach Powell's discussion with the team here?
Well, they're just reiterating what they wanted defensively. That's put Burton on Holt, and whenever he gets the basketball, run a second player at him and make him give up the basketball. Been pretty successful so far.
Where somebody else has got to step up. And Evan, you mentioned those role players earlier for Colonel Crawford. Somebody's got to make a statement. LCC wants to prove that someone will.
Yeah, and so far Holt does have 4 points, but you can see right there they're making everything hard for him in this one. Flying around, Burton on the floor, knocking that one out.
Azad Burton taking on the role of glue guy right there. Excellent hustle, diving on the floor. Colonel Crawford maintains possession, but LCC really, really tough defensively. And Payne DeGray back in the game with 2 fouls. They go to him out on the right wing, looking for the back door, not there.
Good read from Burton.
And John DeGray with the shot, doesn't go. Good defense. In transition, Parker going to take a deep three. Just short. And Jordan Pretty's going to be called for over the back, and that's going to be his second personal.
Yeah, I don't think that's the shot Coach Powell wants early in a possession right there. A jump shot off the dribble three in transition. Just not really what you want early, and I can see Coach Powell there talking with him as well. It's good coaching, though. Just let the guy know, hey, you know, we're not going to take that shot. We got to be better. We got to think.
We talked about the deep threes, this college floor, the different contrasting stain. You think you're at the three-point line, you sense it, but they're shooting threes deeper than they normally do all season, and when they're short, you can just understand why.
Look at Burton flying around again on the defensive end. Colonel Crawford, though, I mean, they're just doing such a nice job taking that physicality and playing through it.
Yeah, low ball, catching the basketball, not putting it on the floor right away. And there's a nice dish, contact. And Colonel Crawford's going to go to the Lee's Famous Recipe chicken free throw line.
All that contact and physicality, only 2 turnovers for Colonel Crawford. We get a look here and just had Pretty sliding over there. He's going to get tacked with the foul, and that's 2 in succession for Jordan Pretty. He has 3 total in this game, which is not a good look for LCC.
John DeGray makes good on the first Lee's Famous Recipe chicken free throw line. Jordan Pretty going to come out of the game. Second one is up. Second one is no good. 14-10 Eagles by a couple of buckets. Don McKee in the game now for the T-Birds. Burton with the shot from the elbow, doesn't go. And again, Colonel Crawford, they look to get the ball to Braden Holt right away. Gets a high screen. On the baseline is John DeGray, and he's able to finish. Baseline penetration, DeGray picks up his first field goal.
Yeah, nice job by DeGray. Sees the space. Parker kind of had his body turned toward the sideline. And there's Don McKee. We don't talk about him enough. That guy works incredibly hard. When he gets into the game, he's a big body. He plays great defense. He's worked his way from JV up to varsity playing time this year. A guy that hasn't played a ton of basketball, in his whole life.
Correct.
Now doing some big, good work off the bench for the T-Birds in the playoffs.
Lollipop that one in with the left hand, then great defense on Payne DeGray. Here come the T-Birds again. They can't get the bucket at the glass. It's Brady Parker, transition. Colonel Crawford inside to John DeGray, kicks it out.
Look at LCC, just not worried about the perimeter, want to take care around the basket, but right there, got to start at the perimeter, keep the penetration from heading toward the basket. Good job by Holt.
Braden Holt finds the lane, drives it right down I-75 and gets to the window. 18-12 Eagles. Burton with the deep three. That one's off. Not very much patience. I know LCC wants to move and shoot quickly, but it's got to be a quality look. And right now, I think they're struggling with shot selection a little bit.
Yeah, and as good as Burton is at basketball, at this game, he really isn't a three-point shooter, shooting 25% on the year from out there. So, yeah, you're open, but we can probably find a better shot if we're the T-Birds, and I think that's what Coach Powell is letting him know here as he heads to the bench.
Michael Quatman coming into the game now. He's seen limited action down the tourney trail. But I like his style right now. He's ready to play defense on Holt out there at the half-court line. Turnover on Colonel Crawford.
Jackson White, always active on the defensive end, doing a nice job coming around his man and knocking that away.
White with the basketball.
Taking their time on this possession.
Looking to go one-on-one a little bit, but again, that pack line defense by Colonel Crawford, especially with very little movement by the T-Birds, it looks rather intimidating defensively.
Yeah, and I'll be interested to see what Coach Powell talks about at halftime, see if he has anything in his repertoire, any sort of motion offense, anything they can do to start getting some looks inside.
There's another steal by Colonel Crawford as White tried to go to Dom McKee, deflected away. Holt down inside to John DeGray, doesn't get it. One and done for Colonel Crawford.
And that's McKee's defense, him sliding over there, being physical, being big, and causing the miss.
You know, he was instrumental in that district championship game against Crestview in the fourth quarter. Physical with Ren Sheets, the back-to-back player of the year in the Northwest Conference. And as you said, Don McKee has just continued to grow in his role of not necessarily an enforcer down inside, but just a lot of good strength and toughness. Jackson White with the basketball. Right now, LCC just looks a little discombobulated out there. Jordan Pretty not on the floor, one of the major reasons. Brady Parker tries to find McKee. There's another turnover. Payne McGray does a good job of jump stopping, finds Goddard on the right wing, doesn't go. John McGray with the offensive board miss.
Yeah, see, Coach Powell not happy. He thinks there's too much contact coming from behind, but I don't think LCC boxing out nearly well enough. I don't think they're getting enough body into their man to draw the foul. You got to make the referee make a call.
John DeGray gets it back out to Braden Holt. He's going to get everybody back in position. Now Colonel Crawford starts their offense. Payne DeGray, the brothers. Holt from the free throw line. That's a tough shot right there. You can see why he's the player of the year, soaking that kind of shot.
Yeah, I like that play right there. He goes down to the elbow after making a pass he went to the block after making a pass to the elbow, then got a screen, came right back up, curled off of that handoff, had enough space to knock down the pure jump shot. It's a good bucket for Mr. Holt, who has 8 of the 20 points for Colonel Crawford.
Mark Shine, how long can LCC go with Jordan Pretty on the bench here?
Well, let's talk about Coach Powell for just a second. His anger was the fact that, we're going to get an offensive foul, but Coach was upset because Jordan's second foul was an over-the-back foul or through-the-back foul on the rebound. Should have been a similar call down at this end, at least from Coach's angle, and he didn't get it. Of course, his player sitting on the bench with 3, and that was a key second one he got.
And there's a turnover on the foul. I believe that was on Michael Quatman, an illegal screen. So Colonel Crawford up 8, a chance to go to double digits as far as the lead is concerned on this possession. Burton and Quatman, they come up and make Holt give the ball up. Goddard on the right wing. Looking to attack, gets in the middle of the paint, kicks it out to Parker Weithman. Double team on Holt. Back to Goddard. Goddard seems to be the safety net a little bit for Holt. LCC fans want to travel. They don't get it. Holt. Weithman goes down into John DeGray. Reverse layup. Count it. Nice possession by Colonel Crawford.
And another time the T-Birds leave their feet trying to block a shot that's just a head fake and give an easy bucket to the other team.
LCC able to get to the glass, but Burton unable to convert it. And then there's an errant pass. Holt going to pull from 3. Doesn't go.
They got it that time. There was plenty of contact that's an easier call for the referee Reyes Ramirez underneath the basket.
We look at the simplified flooring replay. There it is. Yep, over the back. Coach Powell, I'm not going to say he got that call. His team earned that call, but if he wouldn't have gotten that call, he might have been a half court.
Hey, you know, guys, when he brought Azad Burton out a moment ago, he had a defensive foul, then he took a bad shot, and Coach Powell just shoot him to no end, and Azad Burton looked him right in the eye, took every bit of it. He's back on the floor now after Coach patted him on the back and said, go get him.
Part of the growth process. Every game, every possession for a freshman. And LCC down 10. Jordan Pretty back in the game. Gets to the free throw line, gets to the glass, doesn't go. Again, you're out of sync a little bit, unable to come up with that bucket, a shot that Pretty usually makes. And there's the wraparound foul on Burton. That's going to be his second. And that is going to be, I believe, the 15th foul on LCC. Or we're going to go out of bounds. We're going to go out of bounds. Now, they have 5 on the board. Now we're going to go to the free throw line. Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken is our free throw sponsor, located in Wapak, Delphos, and St. Mary's. Locally owned and operated, Lee's is not just famous for chicken, famous for catering, too.
Well, look, if you're Lima Central Catholic, things might right now feel like they're starting to get a little bit out of hands. Maybe you feel like the game hasn't been called fairly. I am not making that statement, but you can tell there's some frustration. The players are starting to get some cheap fouls out there. They're starting to make some turnovers that are uncharacteristic. This is where you've got to kind of regroup as a team. Now, I know there's 35 seconds till halftime, and they will get a break to go reset, but you don't want things to get away from you here. Right, you need to make sure, especially in the last 35 seconds, you keep your head, don't do anything silly. Try to get a little momentum going back into the locker room and then into the second half.
And a little momentum could come in the form of a match heating and cooling 3 from this T-Bird squad going into halftime. That would be great medicine. Pretty tried to go up with it. I think he got fouled. And
you're going to get a look at it here. Yeah, his arm, he was going up for the shot. And
is Jordan Pretty going to get 3 free throws here or just 2? Well, if he's shooting, it's got to be 3 because he was behind the arc. We'll see.
The only confusion is that the referee raised 2 fingers
after
the foul.
Pretty misses that first one. That's his first miss, 4 for 5 from the Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken free throw line. But that's all he has. He does not have a field goal yet. Makes the second.
There will be 3 free throws. Dom McKee right now, the only one that doesn't know it. Now he goes back. That wasn't McKee. Sorry, that was Purnell. Purnell started running backward. That's all right.
Xavier Purnell, Dom McKee, and Drew Peaster, they rotate in that 5 spot for the T-Birds going up against Payne DeGray.
Pretty checks out for Quatman, so he doesn't pick up his 4th foul. Good offense to defense here for the T-Birds.
Holt with the basketball, passes it down to Goddard, goes inside to Payne DeGray. He overcooks it, but there's his brother on the backside. Kicks it for the 3, and it's good for Colonel Crawford. Parker Weithman with a match heating and cooling 3, and the Colonel Crawford fans are on their feet as they take momentum into halftime. 26-24 Eagles. You're watching Division VI Regional Championship Basketball on WOSN. Welcome back to the campus of Bowling Green State University and the Stroh Center, where it is halftime. Colonel Crawford leads Lima Central Catholic 26-24, and it's a first half that was what Colonel Crawford wanted as far as tempo is concerned, Evan.
Yeah, no doubt about it. They got into LCC. They have not let the T-Birds do anything that they want to do offensively. Even if that is in the full court, trying to go in transition, they're doing a nice job just kind of staying with them, slowing things down, getting back to the basket, and not allowing any easy layups. I've been really impressed with this Colonel Crawford defense.
You look at our leading scorers. Braden Holt has 9 points, halfway to his average of 18 for Colonel Crawford. And for Lima Central Catholic, Jordan Pretty has 6, all of them from the free throw line. So we have a situation here right now where, as we look at the second half, adjustments that need to occur. Let's talk about LCC first.
Well, I think for them, they need to get downhill. They need to figure it out. Jeff Williams, normally the guy that's able to do that for him, he's not playing today. How else can you get downhill, right? Set some screens, maybe some back screens, ball screens. Get the ball moving side to side, try to get this defense out of place. Either way, whatever it is, paint touches are huge. I'm not talking about post-ups necessarily. I'm talking about getting inside, making that defense collapse, and finding some space, because right now these points are really, really hard to come by. In fact, 6 of those 14 for LCC are from the free throw line, like you said.
And as you look at Colonel Crawford, Coach David Sheldon's got to be real pleased with how this first half played out. What's he got to do to continue the tempo in the second half?
Well, I think continue to attack, continue to do the little things right. I think some of those fouls that Burton and Pretty have picked up are just from Colonel Crawford being tough, being physical, not being afraid of the pressure, kind of dribbling into them or boxing them out on one end, just flying around, being around the basketball. Right, continue to play hard, continue the physicality. I think they're going to be okay. They've done a nice job extending possessions, having nice long possessions. Offensive rebounds have been fantastic for them as well, crashing the boards and getting second chances. In fact, that 3 right before the buzzer came off of an offensive rebound and a kick out. So they just need to continue doing what they're doing and out-physicaling. If that's a word, physicaling?
Yeah.
Out-physicaling LCC.
Sounds good to me. Let's go down to our sideline reporter, Mark Shine. First half thoughts.
Well, there are 2 numbers that really stand out to you. First of all, that when Jordan Purdy picked up his 3rd foul, Colonel Crawford's a +8 since that time on the scoreboard. It went from 14-10 to 26-14 here at halftime. The other number is if you take rebounds plus steals minus turnovers, Colonel Crawford's a +12. That's something else LCC has to clean up.
As we go into the third quarter, it is going to be imperative for the T-Birds to have Jordan Purdy stay on this floor and become an offensive weapon. Again, he is so good at letting the game come to him. Right now, he's going to have to dictate that a little bit more. Those are our halftime thoughts. We'll come back with the third quarter here at the Stroh Center on the campus of Bowling Green. You're watching tournament basketball on WOSN. As we get ready to start our third quarter, our quarter sponsor is Webb Insurance Agency, serving Lima and Allen County for more than 100 years with offices in downtown Lima and Bluffton. And our 3-point sponsor for today's contest, Matt's Heating and Cooling. Is your home in the energy efficient zone? Call Matt's Heating and Cooling or go to callmattsheating.com to schedule your free estimate. End of the second quarter, Colonel Crawford walks off the floor making a 3. First possession of the third quarter, LCC has it. They need to make some money here early. The first 4 minutes of this third quarter, absolutely huge.
Some early motion up top. Again, trying to get the ball deep down into the paint. Get some good high-quality looks.
Burton on the left baseline. Goes inside to Xavier Purnell. Purnell starting the second half instead of Drew Peaster for the T-Birds, making that adjustment. Pretty with the basketball, doubled right away, goes up through it, doesn't score it. Just a little short, just a little good, strong physical contact by Colonel Crawford made that tough on him.
Yeah, and I really like from the backside, Bruner came over actually before that pass was even made. That's just good, aware basketball, knowing that they're trying to post him up and you need to be there quickly.
Holt with the shot in the middle of the paint. Sometimes that's the hardest one to make. Wide open from 13. Drills it. Colonel Crawford's doubled the score on the T-Birds now.
Good job fighting through that screen as well from Holt. Defensively doing some good work.
Burton with the basketball gets into the middle of the paint.
Got a cut. There you go.
Yep, there's a nice cut, but they don't score it as Payne DeGray recovers and slaps that one away with the block.
Well, the cut needs to be quicker. You need to get there right away. As soon as your defender turns his back, they waited too long there, and the defender had time to recover and knock the ball away. It's good offense, but it just has to be quicker.
Holt from deep doesn't go. Pretty in transition, but he's 1 on 3. And that's going to stay with the T-Birds as Holt made his argument that he had knocked that off of Pretty. We see it on the simplified flooring replay.
Oh, I see what he's saying.
Yeah, good call by the official, though. We'll keep it with the T-Birds. Dom McKee in the game now. Jackson White with the basketball out top.
He and Burton have both kind of done the the point guard role, if you will, here today, initiating offense.
Goddard doing a nice job making it tough on Pretty. Kicks it out to Parker. Another deep three, doesn't go for Brady.
It's a tough one there. They finally got a post-up little inside-out look and got Parker open. He's a good three-point shooter. Shoots him at a 31% clip, but that time not able to make it. He's actually missed 2 here today.
Holt working on Burton. Spins out top. Mishandled. Nice job of playing dodgeball. And LCC has the basketball. Jackson White looking to attack. There's contact. Going to be a body foul against Colonel Crawford.
That's a tough one there. Crawford's done a nice job tonight getting back, trying to take charges, and right there, just not in a good spot and moving his feet was Bruner, picking up his second foul.
At the Lee's Famous Recipe chicken free throw line, it'll be Jackson White. 6 for 21 on the season, but again, in that Crestview game, he went to the line late and nailed 2 of them. Looked just like that, a 70% free throw shooter in disguise. Nicely done by Jackson White. He's got the second of 2 Lee's Famous Recipe chicken free throws coming up right now. Drills that one.
I wonder if he would just had the yips at the beginning of the year. He was 4 of 19 at one point in the year, but he looks very confident shooting from the free throw line.
Payne DeGray one-on-one on Don McKee. Tries to go through him. McKee again, just so strong and physical. Plays good defense and gets the board. Burton in transition. Jump stops. Kicks it out to Jackson White. And he drills it. Jackson White picks up his first 3. A match heating and cooling three-pointer. And the LCC contingent starting to make some noise, cutting the lead down to 9.
Well, that one came from a drive and a kick out, right? LCC, if they can start to find those seams, that's what can happen. Need a nice possession here if you're Colonel Crawford. Get this team and these fans settled down a little bit.
Brady Parker right there, and David Sheldon's going to take a timeout. As we see the replay, we'll take a Metzger Financial timeout as well. 28-19 Eagles. You're watching it on WOSN. Tonight's timeouts are brought to you by Metzger Financial Services, helping you plan your financial future. Call 419-225-6067 or visit MetzgerFinancialServices.com. And our scoreboard sponsors, Ultimate Outdoor. Bring resort-style living to your backyard every day with a luxury outdoor space by Ultimate Outdoor. David Sheldon takes that timeout, but Coach Shine, you're right there with the LCC team. What's the theme in their timeout?
Well, that last break is what they want to do more often. They were able to attack the basket and then get the kick out. Now, some people say that's not a transition basket, but it is. You got a shot before the defense was prepared to defend you. They got one in transition right there. They're down 9, trying to build on that right now.
And defensively, they're going to look to continue to get the ball out of Braden Holt's hands. We see LCC double him. It's just a matter, can Colonel Crawford find the open man when he is doubled? Burton on him here initially. Now he's going to face guard him a little bit, but he gets it back. They go right inside to John DeGray. Doesn't get it to go. Burton in transition. The T-Birds with an opportunity. McKee with the left hand doesn't go. Burton stays with it again. Draws the foul on the second shot. He's going to go to the Lee's Famous Recipe chicken free throw line.
Pace starting to look like the T-Birds pace, getting up and down the floor, able to get to the basket that time. Good physicality by Burton. Looks like he might have been fouled on the first one, but the referee calls it on the second. 2 free throws coming up.
Here's why, Evan. They defensive rebounded the basketball. They're not giving up second shot opportunities. That allows them to get in transition.
Burton comes up empty on the first Lee's Famous Recipe chicken free throw line. He is a 69% free throw shooter. Got to slow it down a little bit and lay it right over the front of the rim. Nicely done on the second one. 8-point advantage for Colonel Crawford. LCC staying with the full court pressure. Payne DeGray goes out to, again, the guy who drives the car. He's got the fob. Braden Holt sets the offense. Gets it back. Goes inside to Payne DeGray. Drop steps to the baseline. Kicks it back out. Goddard back out to Holt. Brady Parker thinks about coming up and doubling.
Good long possession, though, from Colonel Crawford. Again, LCC makes a little run, then Colonel Crawford can slow things down, take a little bit of that wind out of the sails of the T-Birds.
They go inside. Payne DeGray doubled, splits the double team, lays it over the top. Great strength by Payne DeGray to get the field goal.
Yeah, nice job by DeGray. He was able to get that right shoulder through the double team and did a nice job using his big foot to slip through there and then getting that top half through and scoring.
Jordan Purdy from the top of the key, just inside the three-point line. That's Jordan Purdy's first field goal of the game, points 7 and 8.
You ever seen him make a shot from that spot?
Yeah, a couple times.
That is Jordan Purdy's look right there. Pull-up jumper from mid-range, either elbow or right at the top of that free throw line.
If he can get that rolling a little bit, the T-Birds will get back in business sooner than later. Parker Weithman with the basketball. Braden Holt, again, the Northern 10 Player of the Year. He's going to take a deep three. Doesn't go. Parker with the board. He's going to go all the way. Brady Parker, coast to coast, Boston to L.A., and don't look now. Here come the T-Birds. Timeout on the floor. And the LCC contingent, they're up and ready to roll. A Metzger Financial Services timeout, but transition's been the key here for this little comeback.
Yeah, absolutely has. They're playing great defense, and like Mark Shine said, rebounding really well on the defensive end and then turning it into buckets on the other end. And right now, Colonel Crawford reeling a little bit, a well-taken timeout, trying to slow things down and figure it out here in the third quarter.
We want to thank our instant replays today, sponsored by Simplified Flooring. Simplified Flooring will make choosing your flooring simple. Mark Shine, LCC, some pep in their step right now.
Well, it starts on the defensive end. It starts with rebounding the basketball right after that, and then they push the ball the length of the court. Burton's done it several times, and that time Parker goes to the rim, and nobody picked him up, and that caused a timeout from Coach Sheldon.
Burton's going to get a little rest here following the timeout. He's played pretty hard. You saw him coming over to the sideline, just kind of very, not dejected, but his energy was a little bit low, so he's going to refresh here, try to get back out there quickly.
A 10-4 third quarter advantage of the T-Birds right now. Weithman with the look, doesn't go, one and done. Jordan Purdy clears it out.
Another nice rebound.
Goddard on him, Purdy to Don McKee, can't get it with the left hand on the right side of the basket. Tough one for Don McKee.
But again, another drive inside. Pretty able to get inside the defense, draw the big defender to come help, and dumps it off for what should have been an easy look. McKee will make the next one. Got to be better if you're Colonel Crawford.
Shot doesn't go for Weithman, gets his own rebound. Colonel Crawford maintains possession. Holt gets it back out. Good defense by LCC. Weithman into the middle of the paint. They're just not going to take bad shots. Colonel Crawford, well disciplined. Good defense by the T-Birds. Inside out action. They go down to Payne DeGray. Double team. McKee and Parker not going to let him get through them again like he did the last time. Deflected away, finds his teammate and his brother down low. John DeGray doesn't go, but he's going to go to the Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken free throw line.
Well, this is interesting because they had him down there for a while, He's down there ready for a pass, and they're just not able to get it to him over and over. His brother, Payne, looking for him, then finally able to make the pass. If you're LCC and you're going to double down low, you have to watch that backside. You can't just leave a guy wide open.
John DeGray hits the heel and gets that one to fall in. When you're living right, you're living right. Eagles up 7. Second one's up from the Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken free throw line, and it's good.
6 points now for DeGray. LCC with another big possession.
When the game slows down, it just becomes really challenging in the half court for LCC. When they can find that transition, they can get it going pretty with the lob pass. Doesn't go. Had a good look. Colonel Crawford clears it out.
Yeah, nice job by Holt. Almost lost the handle, but able to keep it, had two good defenders behind him, and now that pass to the backside, LCC just leaving that guy.
Don McKee comes over and walls up, creates the miss. Burton down on the baseline, weaves his way through, and there's transition, and there's a bucket. Jackson White, points 6 and 7.
Really good job cutting to the basket by White, and a good find by Burton. Back to within an 8-point game, and I think Colonel Crawford really feeling the heat right here.
Down at the end of the third quarter, Braden Holt clearing it out like Jimmy Chitwood. 4, 3, 2, goes up with it, blocked by Don McKee. Shot's not going to get off. 3 quarters in the books. LCC was down 12. They cut the deficit in half. 32-26 Eagles. Don't go anywhere. We're going to have a dandy of a fourth quarter on WOSN. Our quarter sponsor again for this exciting and forthcoming fourth quarter is Webb Insurance Agency, serving Lima and Allen County for more than 100 years with offices in downtown Lima and Bluffton. Mark Shine, the T-Birds, they cut into the deficit by 6, but they still find themselves down 6.
Well, you mentioned earlier that Azad Burton came out, and at that particular time, Azad was exhausted. He just kind of plopped onto his chair. But that minute-and-a-half break he got gave him great vision and I think great energy to get back on the floor. He made a real difference, and it has gotten down to a 6-point game.
And Evan Skilleter turnovers. The Eagles only have 5. LCC only was 7. This Colonel Crawford team, they take care of the basketball.
They do, but again, LCC doing a nice job making things tough on them, not giving them any good looks. So the end of possessions are usually resulting in tough, forced shots. You talk about Burton, though, and how he's tired. Look, this guy hasn't played a ton in the playoffs, right?
Great point.
He's been injured and on the bench for a lot of the last few weeks.
A Matt's heating and cooling 3 for Logan Goddard. And that's just what the doctor ordered if you are Colonel Crawford, a big 3 on their first possession of the fourth quarter, back up 9.
Goddard's second 3 of the game and couldn't have been a better timed one. Got that one from very deep past college range.
Inside-out action. Burton, he looks to attack. Payne DeGray gets a hand on it. Don McKee battles, gets one up off the window, but Holt there to clear it out.
Maybe just a little inexperience there from McKee. You can see him shaking his head down there on the block. Gets the ball, no one around him, and again, lack of experience in big games. Sometimes you've got so much space you think it's time to shoot the ball when really that's not the best shot your team could get.
Great hustle by Brady Parker. Holt back across the timeline, gets the basketball, a lot of contact, and there's going to be your personal foul. That's just going to be the second on Brady Parker, first for LCC here in the fourth quarter.
Going to get a look at it here on the simplified flooring replay.
Yep, today's instant replay sponsor is Simplified Flooring. Simplified Flooring will make choosing your flooring simple.
Okay, get a look from another angle. Good job by the crew here. Ken Reeker pushing the buttons and doing a nice job. As always, right? We talk about it. We get the easy job.
Yes,
right?
we do.
The other ones, so much to do, so little time.
John DeGray with the basketball. Goes over to Brother Payne at the elbow. He's not going to take that shot out there, but he's going to look to battle his way down. And we're going to get a push foul, and I think that's going to go on Brady Parker. It's going to be number 3 now. Extends the hands a little bit there.
Yeah, you can use the body to defend, but when you start pushing that forearm into your assignment, the referees are going to call it. It's a good look. It's a physical game, but you have to stay within the rules now. And Parker now with 3 fouls.
Holt over to Goddard. Back to Holt. Braden Holt not only runs the show out here, but he's an 85% free throw shooter. So if the T-Birds are in a situation where they have to foul, he's probably going to have the rock in his hands. There's a steal. Jackson White to Brady Parker. Looking to go all the way again. And he draws contact. He's going to go to the Lee's famous recipe chicken free throw line. Braden Holt gives up a foul right there.
Yeah, good job here in transition, just making a nice move to the inside. Holt with too much arm. That's only his first foul. That sends Brady Parker to the line, 79% free throw shooter.
At the Lee's famous recipe chicken free throw line. So the individual foul trouble that we saw earlier in this contest with Purdy and Payne DeGray, neither has had a foul in the second half. So that storyline has dissolved. Brady Parker misses that first one. Needs to get this one cut into the lead with the clock stopped. Does so.
Well, Burton had 2 in the first half as well, and still sitting at 2. Parker, the only other T-Bird with 3 fouls.
Looking to run 2 at Holt again. Keeps his head up. Finds Reithman. And Reithman gets it out to his teammate. There's a 3. Doesn't go. Pretty with the board. And Burton stepped on a foot over maybe on the bench, but he's coming back in. Pretty with the shot. Contact. No foul. 1 and done.
Not good if Burton's hobbled. He's already dealing with a leg injury. Hopefully didn't re-aggravate it. Looks like he's doing okay right now, although we're going to get a good look at it here up top.
John DeGray looking to get to the basket. Good defense by Brady Parker in transition. Jackson White off the window. Count it, Jackson White. Again, another transition bucket for the T-Birds. And now we've got a timeout or an injury.
I think an injury. It looked like, he was a
Jackson
little
White
shaken up there at the end. Maybe a cramp.
Yep, looks like a cramp right here. We've got a timeout on the floor. We'll take a Metzger Financials timeout as well. And 35-29, Colonel Crawford. Our scoreboard sponsor for today's contest is Ultimate Outdoor. Bring resort-style living to your backyard every day with a luxury outdoor space by Ultimate Outdoor. Jackson White injured on that play. Mark Shine, how's he look over there?
Well, he's got, it looks like a cramp in his right leg, and they're working with that. And oftentimes when you get that first cramp, he just keeps coming back. So we'll see if we can get him in the game, and if so, for how much he can play.
Braden Holt brings the ball across the timeline, trying to get the tempo to go up a little bit more for Colonel Crawford, and they get the miss at point-blank range. Jordan Pretty going coast to coast. He draws contact. He draws the foul.
We talk a lot about Colonel Crawford and their patient possessions and taking good shots. Well, that time LCC pushed the pace enough to where DeGray got the ball underneath and felt like he needed to go up and take a shot right away. And that's a really good thing for LCC, right? Because they get the ball quickly, they get down, they draw the foul, and now only the first against Colonel Crawford, but still you get a baseline out of bounds and a chance for 2.
Baseline out of bounds. See if something comes back to Pretty off of the inbound play. Gets a screen from Purnell up top. Kicks it back out to Michael Quatman. Brady Parker with the D3. He drills it. Brady Parker gets the match heating and cooling 3, and we're down to a 3-point game. Colonel Crawford with their patience. Have they forgot to look at the basket? Not on that play, as right there, John DeGray gets to the basket, draws contact. I think he's going to be shooting 2.
Yeah, you get Quatman coming in from behind right there, not able to stay in front of DeGray. DeGray with 7 points here.
3 for 4 from the Lee's famous recipe chicken free throw line in the contest. Thus far is John DeGray, but they're getting bigger and bigger down the stretch, and that one goes off the side of the iron.
Averages just under 10 points per game, 5 rebounds, 1 assist.
Mark Shine.
Jackson White, back in the game.
Yep, Jackson White back in the game. Misses both, but there's Payne DeGray with the board. They kick it in, kick it back out. Goddard back to Braden Holt.
Yeah, much better here, taking their time. Let some time tick off this clock.
Holt with the runner. Holt with the bucket.
Helps to get a bucket at the end of the possession as well. Nice job by Holt getting inside, up to 13 points now.
Pushes the lead back to 5. In the half-court set, Coach Powell calling out the set. He's out on the floor a little bit. Jackson White with the ball up top. Look for something for Jordan Pretty. The only problem is the whole Colonel Crawford defense knows that as well. Pretty attacks. Pretty draws contact. Pretty scores it. Pretty draws the foul. Jordan Pretty on the simplified flooring replay, Evan.
Yeah, that left foot was sliding, and great call there from the referee underneath on a bang-bang play. But you have to keep those feet set. And again, on that replay, a nice job by our crew catching that left foot sliding And the foul call, now Pretty a chance to get point number 11 and get it back to within 2 points.
Jordan Pretty with the three-point play, the old-fashioned way. He gets it from the Lee's Famous Recipe Chicken free throw line down to a 2-point contest. Tuesday night in the regional semi, we said it in the pregame, Jordan Pretty scored 11 of the last 12 LCC points. Looking to do it again here with the help of his teammates, obviously. But he's got to be the go-to guy. The Stars got to shine when it's time for the Stars to shine.
Absolutely. You can see it in the eyes of the T-Birds, too. They can sense it. They smell the blood in the water. And they're ready to go. Nice job by Brady Parker trying to run that one down. Either way, good defense and a lot of electricity in this gym.
Braden Holt, the star for Colonel Crawford, double teamed by White and Pretty. Again, always looking for Goddard and Weithman, predominantly Goddard when he gets tied up. Gets into the paint, finds Payne DeGray. Payne DeGray goes strong. Payne DeGray finishes.
Well, another bucket that comes from a drive. A nice job by Horn getting this first step, a quick first step, and getting into the paint. Again, drawing those defenders out and dumping it in for an easy basket. You have to defend the perimeter if you're the T-Birds trying to get back into this one.
Eagles have 4 timeouts, LCC with 3. Pretty with the basketball. Burton at the free throw line looking to attack, and he loses it on the way up. Goddard with the steal. Braden Holt with the basketball again. LCC looking to get it. He spins, turns on him. Parker with the basketball. Brady Parker with the bucket. Back to the 2-point game.
Got to get back. It's 3-on-1 right now.
Going inside, Don McKee against Payne McGray, finds his brother, John McGray, and he misses it. LCC with a chance to tie with a 2, take the lead with the 3. Pretty loses it going in. Good help defense by who? None other than Braden Holt. And Coach Sheldon's going to take a timeout. We'll take a Metzger Financial's timeout as well. Everybody on their feet at the Stro. Tonight's timeouts are brought to you by Metzger Financial Services, helping you plan your financial future. Call 419-225-6067 or visit MetzgerFinancialServices.com. I'm Dave Bowen. Partner up here in the booth, Evan Skilleter, and down on the floor, Mark Shine. It's got to be fast and furious and really loud down there, Mark.
Yeah, it really is. That last call was a good no call that time. Pretty tried to split 2 defenders, and one of them got a hand on the ball. That was a good no call, but how about Brady Parker, what he's done here in the fourth quarter? He's really turned it up defensively. Got a big 3, got a steal and a score. See if the Thunderbirds got one more run in them here with 2 minutes to go.
Brady Parker, 8 points in the contest, all in the second half. And he is one of the major reasons why the T-Birds find themselves only down 2, Evan Skilleter.
And it's been so difficult for Colonel Crawford to bring the ball up. And when they do, they've gotten some decent looks, especially when LCC doubles in the post. But LCC not guarding that backside right now, and so far Colonel Crawford has not been able to take advantage of it. So again, nice job up top by the LCC defense, but they've got to be careful giving up good looks around the basket.
Yeah, do you change anything defensively, or do you continue to run 2 at Braden Holt, getting the ball out of his hands? They're going to run 2 at him. Make someone else make the decision. On the floor now, Lucas Foy. We haven't seen him out there a whole lot for Colonel Crawford. He's got the basketball right now, guarded by Burton.
It's a tough spot.
Sure is. Penetrates, kicks it out.
Smart play, though, from the guy coming off the bench. Not taking a bad shot, just kicking it out.
Parker Weithman with the basketball. LCC with 3 fouls. They have 1 to give yet. The Eagles with 3 fouls as well. Down to a minute 15. Weithman with the basketball. And Colonel Crawford's going to take another timeout. We're going to keep it right here during this Metzger Financial Services timeout. 39-37. We talked about Coach Powell and his tournament success, leading Bodkins, and then back-to-back opportunities anyway. They went to the Final Four last year, trying to get there again this year with LCC. But Coach David Sheldon, it's a coaching family. His father, Rob Sheldon, longtime coach at Bucyrus Winford. Dave Sheldon, he has, as we said, 350 wins at Colonel Crawford, but he doesn't have the most wins in his household.
It's an unbelievable family.
His wife Amy has over 400 wins in leading the Bucyrus Winford girls program. And then brother Chris, head coach at Western Reserve. And then they have another brother who's a head coach in high school basketball in Pennsylvania. So it is a basketball family when you talk about the Sheldons.
Yeah, it absolutely is. Can you imagine how busy that house is and how busy that family is during the winter? That's unbelievable.
That's unbelievable. Here we go. 1:05 left to play. Colonel Crawford up 2. They kick it out. Looking to take care. When do you start looking to foul here just to increase the number of possessions, put pressure on the free throw line?
And
Pretty.
Still just 3 fouls for LCC, so 1 to give.
Braden Holt now with the basketball. He finds John DeGray. John DeGray lays it in. Assist Holt.
Well, and that's what's been there all quarter. They finally find it, finally convert.
Burton with the miss. It's loose. We're going to go the other way. It's going to be a foul on the T-Birds. Burton gets in there on the simplified flooring replay. We see it, and then on the ensuing rebound, John DeGray takes the contact, earns the foul.
It's number 3 against Burton, number 4 against the T-Birds. Next one puts Crawford at the line.
Braden Holt going to keep it, come down the left sideline. Looking for Payne DeGray. He goes upstairs, and he slams it home and draws the foul. And the Colonel Crawford students and fans can taste the victory now. Two-handed slam as Holt gets to the middle of the floor. Payne DeGray emphatic.
I don't know if there's a better way to put a nail in the coffin than an and one dunk, the only dunk of this game, in front of your student section, your bench, and a full Stroh Center. That is unbelievable right there from DeGray. 10 points, a chance for 11, and very, very likely the deal sealer.
David Sheldon, Colonel Crawford has never punched their ticket to the Final Four. Payne DeGray looks to do it right there as Brady Parker takes the 3, doesn't go. Another look at that emphatic flush from Payne DeGray.
Man, that's a dream right there. That is a dream to dunk it like that in a Division I gym.
And the T-Birds are gonna peel away the defense. Colonel Crawford, David Sheldon, the Eagles punching their ticket to the Final Four, first time in school history. And they had to earn it, this T-Bird squad. They battled today, cut the lead to 2, Evan Skilleter, but when it all comes down to it, Colonel Crawford able to get a couple transition buckets, what LCC had been doing all day long, and that's what proved to be the difference. We'll come back after these to wrap this one up. You're watching high school basketball on WOSN. Welcome back to the Stroh Center on the campus of Bowling Green State University, where today we have been treated to an outstanding regional championship game, Division VI style, between the Colonel Crawford Eagles and the Lima Central Catholic Thunderbirds. I'm Dave Bowen, my partner Evan Skilleter. Evan, we've seen a really good basketball game, a game where LCC found themselves down 12 points at halftime. They cut the lead down to 2 with a couple minutes to go, but the Eagles, they imposed their will and finished this one off.
Well, and it came down to their 2 leaders, right? You had Braden Holt, who was able to handle the pressure, not turn the ball over too much. In fact, only 7 turnovers for the Eagles against this tough pressure, which was great. And then the emphatic dunk by Payne DeGray at the very end, knocking the ball, putting the nail in the coffin. Just really, really impressive job down the stretch from Colonel Crawford. But this LCC team was incredible. They worked so hard to claw back into this game. Shorthanded, mind you, their starting point guard out today and still able to make this one a game. This is going to be a tough team to deal with for many years to come.
Jordan Priddy finishes the night with 11 points for Lima Central Catholic. Braden Holt had 13, and Payne DeGray 11 for Colonel Crawford. Mark Shine, you're down there taking a look at the trophy presentation. Your thoughts as this game finishes up?
Well, Dave, there's an old adage in coaching. When it gets down to 39-37, you need 3 consecutive things to go your way. You either need stop, score, stop, or you need score, stop, and score again. And that's exactly how Colonel Crawford finished it out. Score, got to stop at the other end, got to score on the dunk, and that's why they won the basketball game at the end.
And they outscored LCC 12-9 in the fourth quarter. Evan?
Well, I'll tell you what, there's one more note that I want to make before we get out of here. Mr. Priddy, a junior, is coming into today. He had 989 points, scored 11 in this one, and leaves this gym with 1,000 going into his senior season.
That's the final time. Matthew Quatman, the only senior on this LCC roster, will put on a basketball uniform. He's had a great career, been an outstanding role player throughout his career, and a great leader for the T-Birds. We wish Matt nothing but future success. That's going to wrap things up here at Bowling Green. The Colonel Crawford Eagles punched their ticket to the Final Four. Where do they play and who do they play? We don't know that right now. That'll come out Sunday afternoon. For our director, Ken Reeker, our camera person, Peyton Gilliland, and our Bowling Green tournament manager, Jamie Behringer and Kelly Getz, and Nick back at the studio. For Mark Shine and Evan Skilleter, I've been Dave Bowen. Until next time, may all of your jumpers hit nothing but the bottom of the net. Congratulations to the T-Birds. They finished the season 18-8, and congratulations to Colonel Crawford. They move on 25-1. So long, everybody.